Good morning. Today we are going to be working on Algebra 2 Lesson 3.2, solving systems of equations. Let me do a quick sound check. Okay. And you're going to be able to solve a system of equations using the substitution method, and you're going to check your solution. Okay. And what substitution means, it means to replace. So we're going to be replacing the variables in the equation, and there are two variables in each of these equations, with the other variable, whatever the other variable equals. Okay? And this video supports Algebra 2 IXL Lesson Skill E6. Remember, you're going to take notes on this video and upload them to the Student View Dropbox or email them to me by 11:59 p.m. Sunday. And please make sure that you put your first and last name, date, period, and the lesson notes name and number on your notes. And if you're emailing it, on the email header, if you want to receive full credit. Okay. All right, so we're going to solve the following system using, again, substitution. And then we're going to check. If you check, checking will guarantee you a good score, maybe even 100%. So you want to do that, okay? All right. So what we're going to do, we've got two equations here, and what I just simply do is I show the first one as equation A, and the other one is equation B, and I'm just going to separate them by a line down the middle. And so I'm going to write the first equation, the first one, and then we'll call this one the B equation. So the first one is 2x minus 3y equals 9. And the second one is y equals 5. Now, when you're looking at these two equations, what you want to do is you want to start out, because you're going to be isolating one equation's variable so that you can substitute it, you're looking for a variable that's easy to isolate. So you look at the x here, this is 2 times x. Okay, but not great. This is negative 3 times y. Again, you're multiplying times negative 3, but this one here only has one y here. So this is the easiest one. So this is the easiest. And because it's the easiest one, then what you're going to do is you're going to substitute this 5 over here for the y in the first equation on the A side. So we'll go ahead and do that. Let's just use, so this would be 2x minus 3 times, and for the y we're going to use 5, equals 9. All right? And so now we want to use PEMDAS and simplify. So multiplication comes first. That means negative 3 times 5 is negative 15. So I have 2x minus 15 equals 9. And let's see, oh, this was negative 5. Y equals negative 5. So let's just correct that. This is negative 5. That means this is negative 5. So this becomes positive 5. So y equals negative 5 is what y equals. And I wrote that incorrectly, so I've corrected that, and I've translated it down to here. So now we have 2x plus 15 equals 9. Now we can use, we can go ahead and use substitution. Let me use my other pen here. So again, going back to the beginning, we'll use the easy variable, the easiest variable to start. And then we're going to substitute the expression 5 here, or -5 rather, into the system. We did that. And we solve it. So we're solving. And so solving it, let's see, I want to get the x by itself, so I subtract 15 from both sides. And when I do that, I get 2x equals, let's see, -6. Okay, and so then I'm going to divide by 2. And I end up with x equals, looks like -3. So I know now that my x coordinate is going to be -3 and my y coordinate is going to be -5. And those are my two sets of coordinates. Now that I've solved that, I'm going to substitute both back into the equations to check. Because checking is critical for this thing. So checking here, we're going to start out with the first equation, which was 2, and this time our x is -3, minus 3, and our y is -5, and that should equal 9. Let's hope it does. Okay, so 2 times -3 is -6. -3 times -5 is +15. Does that equal 9? Yes, it does. So it checks. So that's the first equation. And then the second equation is y equals 5. Well, all right. If y equals 5, then -5, I'm sorry, y equals -5. Y equals -5, then -5 equals -5. So it checks, okay? So, bottom line on this is that, you're kind of working in a circle. You're substituting this into here, and then you're going to bring this back up into and kind of complete a circuit here. Because we don't have an x in here, it doesn't actually happen, but that's the idea of what we're doing. So we're going to continue with that thought as we move along here. Okay? All right. So next set of equations, let's see here. Okay, so I have, where's my ruler? Pardon me. Let's just divide this over here. And so I've got y equals -2x plus 6. And I got -3x plus, or I'm sorry, y equals -3x plus 8. Okay, so let's start out with finding the easiest thing. Well, if you look at this, over here, the easiest variable is the y. There's just one y here. and you've got negative 2 here, so that's not as good. Over here, again, you've got just one y. All right, so these really are the easy variables. And so if this is what y equals, negative 2x plus 6, and this is the same y and equals negative 3x plus 8, then all I really need to do is I need to substitute this all for y in the second equation. So all this expression will be substituted. So I'll rewrite this as, let's just do this in red for the moment. Negative 2x plus 6 equals negative 3x plus 8. Now notice I've got just x's in the equation. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and combine like terms. So I want to get the x's together. I'm going to add 3x to both sides. And so I'm going to get, let's see, x plus 6, because negative 2x and 3x is 1x, equals, this cancels, 8. All right, subtract 6 from both sides, and I get x equals 2. Okay. So now I've got what x is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that and I'm going to substitute it for the x up here. And so it's, you know, you've got this circle thing going. And the whole idea is that this system, different math teachers have seen it and adopted it, and it's a good way of thinking about this. So let's substitute this 2 over here for this x. So I'm going to have y equals negative 2 times 2 plus 6. All right, so negative 2 times 2 is negative 4 plus 6, and that means that y equals 2. All right, so now I've got what x and y is, so I'm going to go ahead and set up my ordered pair. And the x comes first, so I put the 2 there, and the y comes second, so I put the 2 there. Now we can go ahead and check it. So first equation, the y is 2, right? Y is 2, so I'm going to change this to 2, and that's going to equal negative 2. And then my x is also 2. Plus 6. So negative 2 times 2 is 4. So 2 equals, I'm sorry, negative 2 times 2 is negative 4 plus 6. All right, does negative 4 and 6 equal 2? Yes, 2 equals 2. Checks. All right, so that's the first equation. Second equation is, first one was y equals negative 2x plus 6. Second equation is y equals negative 3x plus 8. So again, I'm going to substitute 2 for the y, and that's going to equal negative 3 times the x plus 8. Let's hope. Let's see. So negative 3, and the x, what is the x? The x is 2. Let's change that to 2. Okay. So negative 3 times 2 is negative 6 plus 8. Negative 6 plus 8 does equal 2. 2 equals 2. It checks. So you can see that we have, again, systems that check. You can get a good solution like that. You'll always be correct, and you can do extremely well in tests. All right, let's look at C here. Now it's getting a little more difficult. If you look at this, these two equations are in standard form. Let's go ahead and draw our line again. And first equation is 2x plus 3y equals 7. Second one is x minus 2y equals negative 7. So let's see if we can find the easiest variable. I got a 2 in front of this one, not good. It's got a 3 in front of this one, not good. Aha! I've got just one x here. So this is my easiest variable. So I want to start with this one, and so I'm going to go ahead and isolate this x, okay? So I'm going to add 2y to both sides. And when I do that, I get 1x equals, this goes away, 2y minus 7. All right. So now that I've got that, I've isolated the x. I'm going to plug that in up here. Since this is x, I'm going to plug it in up here, replacing the x with what's here in this expression. Okay? So I'm going to write this out. 2 times, and now I've got 2y minus 7. And again, notice I'm multiplying it because this is assumed to be 2 times x. So that's 2 times what was x, 2y minus 7 over here, plus 3y. Always get in both sets of terms, equals 7. All right, so we're going to have to use PEMDAS. So we're going to need to distribute or multiply the 2 to the 2 and the 2 to the negative 7. And so 2 times 7y's are 4y's. 2 times negative 7 is negative 14. And then bring along the 3y. That equals 7. So 4y and 3y, that's 7y. Minus 14 equals 7. Add 14 to both sides. And I get 7y equals, this is 21. So I'm going to divide both sides by 7 to get the y by itself, and I end up with y equals, what is that, 3? Okay, so that's my y-coordinate, but I need now to find my x-coordinate all by itself, even though I isolated the x over here, but I isolated in terms of y. So I've got to go back with this information. This is what y is, and I got to substitute it for y over here. So you notice I'm completing this circle. So I have x equals 2 times 3 minus 7. All right, so 2 times 3 is 6, so x equals 6 minus 7, so x must equal negative 1. So now I have both sets of coordinates. I can set up my x and y coordinates. X is negative 1, y is 3. Okay. All right, so I'm going to leave this with you to check it yourself to make sure it works. But it should if we plug those in, and you've got your answers, okay? And you know that you've got them right. All right, one more to go. So let's see. This is, where's my ruler? So we have 3x plus y equals 8, and I have 2x minus y equals 7. Now, when I look at these, obviously the x is multiplied to the 3, so that's not easiest. Now, this is a good candidate. It's positive y. This is 2 times x, so it's not as good. This is negative y, but it's negative 1 times y. And so we have to deal with the issues of negativeness. Let's start out with this one here. This is the easy one. Okay? So knowing that, then, what you're going to do is you're going to take and solve in terms of y. So I'm going to subtract the 3x from both sides. And so this cancels, and you're left with y equals, and then these are unlikes, so negative 3x plus 8. Solve for what y is. I'm going to take that information and I'm going to bring it up here and replace this y with this expression. So again, completing my circle. I'm starting to go around like this. Now, so I've got 2x, and then I've got this negative sign here. We have to show that, and then I'm going to put this negative 3x plus 8 into parentheses because we have to distribute this negative sign to whatever's in this expression. So negative 3x plus 8, and then that equals 7. So everything's in terms of 7 now, so let's simplify. We'll distribute this negative sign to the negative 3x plus 8, so 2x, negative 1 times negative 3, this is assumed to be negative 1 now. Negative 1 times negative 3 is positive 3x, or negative 1 times negative 3x is positive 3x. Negative 1 times positive 8 is negative 8, and that equals 7. All right, 2x plus 3x is 5x, minus 8 equals 7. Add 8 to both sides. You get 5x equals, what is that, 15? Divide both sides by 5, and 15 divided by 5 is 3. So now you know what x is. It's 3. So you're going to have to now go back and continue on with our little circle here. This is what x is, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to replace this x here. I'm going to pop this 3 in here to replace the x in the other equation. So I'm going to rewrite this equation as y equals negative 3 times, and then the x is 3, put it in red, plus 8. Okay, so negative 3 times 3 is negative 9, so I have negative 9 plus 8, and negative 9 plus 8 is negative 1. So my y coordinate is negative 1. Therefore, my x and y ordered pair is x is 3 and y is negative 1. Make sure you get these in the proper order. It's so easy to reverse these because you're looking at this at the left and you put the negative 1 in the wrong spot. So don't do that. Okay, so again, you're going to check these. All right, so we are done with this particular one, and we have another lesson on substitution. I will bring it to you. It's a little bit, tiny bit briefer, but it's more of this stuff, and it applies to the worksheet that you're going to be doing. And that's it. So we will see you later. Thank you.